영어 동화 세상 리틀팍스.
The Story of the Teddy Bear. Can you guess what the most popular bear is? It's not the panda or polar bear. Here's a hint. Most children have this bear. That's right. It's the teddy bear. The teddy bear has a special story. Teddy was the nickname of Theodore Roosevelt. He was the President of the United States many years ago. President Roosevelt enjoyed the outdoors and nature. He liked to go hunting. However, on one hunting trip, President Roosevelt did not see any bears. He was going to give up and go home.
The president has to get something,
said one man.
He will feel bad if he doesn't,
Said another.
I have an idea,
Said a third man. The man told the others his plan. They found an old bear and tied it to a tree. Then they ran back to the president.
Mr. President, I saw a bear! Follow me, Mr. President!
Said one of the men. He pointed to the tied-up bear.
Here is the bear! Shoot it, sir!
Said another man. President Roosevelt looked at the bear.
How can I kill this helpless animal?
Shouted the president.
I can't! I won't kill it!
A cartoon appeared in the newspaper a few days later. It showed President Roosevelt and the bear. The cartoon quickly became famous. A candy store owner saw the drawing. He and his wife decided to make a stuffed bear. They named it Teddy's Bear and displayed it in their store window. Everyone wanted the stuffed bear. It became very popular. Over time, Teddy's Bear became known as the Teddy Bear. And now the teddy bear is loved by children all around the world.
Young Walt Disney. Walt grew up in the small town of Marceline, Missouri. From an early age, he loved to draw. He first made money from his art when he was a boy. A neighbor paid Walt to draw a picture of his horse. Walt also loved to read. His favorite book was The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. He imagined having adventures like Tom. Walking to school one day, Walt saw a poster. It advertised a play.
It's a play about a boy who can fly.
He said to his brother Roy.
Let's ask Mom if we can go. Can we go see Peter Pan?
Walt asked his mom.
As long as you pay for your tickets, sure,
She said. Walt and Roy gathered money to buy 2 tickets. Walt especially was amazed by the play. Shortly afterward, the boys' school put on the same play. Walt got to play the role of Peter Pan. He asked Roy to help him fly during the play.
Don't be silly. You can't fly.
Roy said. But Walt convinced Roy to help him. They found some strong rope for a pulley system. Finally, Walt rose into the air.
Look at me! I'm flying!
He shouted.
That was so neat.
Roy said later.
I hope we can both be in the movies when we grow up.
I hope so.
Walt answered. Later, the family moved to Kansas City, Missouri. Walt and Roy got a job delivering newspapers. They had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. every morning. That was hard, but Walt used the money for the movies. He loved to watch movies, and he still loved to draw. Most of all, he liked to make people laugh. His teacher predicted he would become an actor. Walt Disney did not become an actor. Instead, he became an animator. Animating combined his interest in movies with his talent for drawing. He never forgot Peter Pan, though. In 1953, he even produced his own animated version of it. Walt began as a small-town boy who loved to draw. He went on to become a famous creator of animated movies. Even today, his movies bring joy to children all around the world.
King Tut's Secrets. You probably recognize my face, or at least my golden mask. Most people know me as King Tut from ancient Egypt. But my real name is Tutankhamun. I became an Egyptian pharaoh, or king, when I was about 9 years old. But my reign was not long. I was only 19 when I died from an unknown cause. My people buried me in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. That's where many other pharaohs were buried. I was an important king, and I made many big changes to Egypt. But people soon forgot about me, and I was lost for over 3,000 years. Then, in 1922, a British archaeologist named Howard Carter discovered my tomb. Carter and his team were amazed by what they found. The rooms of my tomb were filled with thousands of objects. That was because we ancient Egyptians believed the dead needed things for the afterlife. With me, I had golden chariots, furniture, food, wine, even underwear. My coffin was made of solid gold. It took Carter 10 years to remove everything from my tomb. People were excited about Carter's discovery. Mine was the most complete pharaoh's tomb ever found. Other tombs had been robbed of valuable objects. In fact, robbers had actually broken into my tomb twice, but they weren't able to steal very much. The contents of my tomb were displayed at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. Later, some objects traveled across the world. In 1939, 2 of my trumpets were played on the radio. I hope the audience enjoyed the concert. I heard that 150 million people were listening. The most famous treasure from my tomb was the golden mask on my mummy. Originally, this mask wasn't meant for me at all. It had first been made for a different pharaoh. But when I died, it was used on me instead. The mask had to be changed, though. The original owner's face was removed from the front of the mask. Then a new face that looked like mine was placed on the mask. My name was written over the original owner's name. Other objects, maybe even the tomb itself, were probably meant for someone else too. Most pharaohs had large, grand tombs. But mine is small and simple. Archaeologists think my death was sudden and unexpected, so they believe a grander tomb wasn't ready when I died. Today I'm known as the most famous pharaoh from ancient Egypt. But much about me still remains a mystery. For example, nobody is exactly sure how I died. Maybe one day someone will find out. I believe people will be interested in my life for many years to come. I have plenty of secrets waiting to be discovered.
The Great Admiral Yi Sun-shin and his turtle ship. A bright little boy grew up in the countryside of Korea in the mid-1500s. His name was Yi Sun-shin. Sun-shin dreamed of becoming a famous military official. He often said to himself, "I'm going to be the best military official of my generation. I will dedicate my life to my country." It took time for Yi Sun-shin to accomplish his dream. When he was 28 years old, he took the military service examination. But during the exam, he fell from his horse and broke his leg. Determined to succeed, Yi Sun-shin took the exam again when he was 32 years old, and this time he passed. His military career had finally begun. From that moment, Yi Sun-shin would live his dream. In 1591, 47-year-old Yi Sun-shin became the naval commander in charge of protecting the coast of the Jeolla province of Korea. This assignment was important because the province is close to Japan, and at that time, Japan and Korea were not on good terms. Japan had a new ruler, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and he wanted to take over Korea. Yi Sun-shin knew that Japan might attack Korea at any moment, so he decided to do something about it. He gathered all his soldiers together for a meeting. "Listen up, everyone. Korea is in danger. Japan might attack us at any moment. We must be prepared. We must begin training," Yi Sun-shin said. Yi Sun-shin trained his soldiers daily, but he knew that this preparation would not be enough. What more could he do? At night, Yi Sun-shin read history books, looking for an answer. Finally, he read about a ship that was built in 1413. Yes, that was a good battleship. Sturdy and strong, but not good enough, Yi Sun-shin thought. He scratched his head and thought some more. That's it. I'll adapt it and make it into a more powerful ship. Excited, he pulled out his pen and paper and began to draw his new ship. Yi Sun-shin and his soldiers built many ships before they finally made the perfect new ship. Everyone celebrated when the hard work was finally over. They called the final creation the turtle ship. The turtle ship was very intimidating. It had a dragon's head at the front and a turtle's body. The dragon's head could spit out smoke to hide the ship from the enemy and to confuse them. The turtle's body was a shell of iron plates that covered the top of the ship. The shell had sharp iron spikes that would stab attackers if they tried to board. The iron covering made the turtle ship the world's first ironclad ship. Yi Sun-shin also created holes in the sides of the ship so that his soldiers could look outside and fire the ship's cannons. The holes were designed so that his soldiers could see the enemy, but the enemy could not look inside the ship and see the soldiers. Yi Sun-shin and his soldiers had built a powerful weapon that they knew would help them win many strategic battles. Yi Sun-shin and his soldiers finished the turtle ship just in time. In April 1592, Japan attacked Korea. Sun-shin and his great turtle ship won their first battle in May. He and his soldiers fought Japan until the end of the war and won many important battles. More turtle ships were built, and with these powerful weapons, Sun-shin defeated 359 Japanese battleships in 4 battles in 1592. During the entire war, he sunk about 700 Japanese battleships. His victories helped Korea defeat Japan, and he and his ships became famous. Throughout his life, Yi Sun-shin suffered many hardships, but his loyalty to his country never wavered. His many victories earned him everyone's respect. On November 19th, 1598, Yi Sun-shin died bravely in the Battle of Noryang, which ended the 7-year war with Japan. To this day, the people of Korea admire Admiral Yi Sun-shin as a great hero who gave his life for his people and country.